Yo, it's halftime.
Are we live?
Yeah, and it's
Oh, I thought we
halftime.
were doing the countdown.
We did. We had
You
an
totally threw me
intro.
off my
We
game.
did an intro. We're live. It's halftime. There's a good game going on.
I thought we were doing the countdown. This so you and I had the Bengals going into this game. That's what we
Hmm.
wanted. I know you were on with Coop. You did the big game show. You kind of talked about the pros of both teams and how like both teams are good, whatever. But I know that, and I asked you today, like, all right, so what's your final gut? And you said Bengals. I said Bengals. Um, Watching that game, if you thought that LA was just going to come in and just this was their game, and everyone had the Rams picked, and that's really not. I mean, it's still a really tight game at halftime.
Yeah, there's been, for me, the glaring things so far have been the Cincinnati Bengals offensive line is playing, I think, probably the best they've played all season. um, yeah, we're smoking our football cigars. So they're playing
Footballs.
great. Offensive line's playing really good for them. And really, the Rams, it's been a pretty even game. The Rams have had two big mistakes. Obviously, the muffed extra point, and then the pick there right towards the end was a big deal because the Bengals are getting the ball at the half. And the reason they scored their first touchdown really was because the Bengals went for it on 4th and 1 and gave it to them in midfield. And then there was two plays. Stafford had a run, and then they threw the touchdown to OBJ. And there you go, two plays gave them those 6 points at the beginning, and they went up 7-0 early. But it's been a really good game, and I'm very impressed, as I said, with the Bengals offensive line. If they keep playing that way in the second half, there's a lot of opportunities out there for them. Jamar Chase has been playing very well. He had a couple big catches on Jalen Ramsey in the first half there. So, no, I mean, I think it's been a really good half. I mean, a lot of people talked that the Rams were just going to come out and run them over. I heard Jim Rome was talking about it on the lead up to the Super Bowl, and it hasn't. That's not the case, and I don't think it's going to happen. Losing Odell is a big deal. Obviously, when you lose another weapon, they still have plenty of weapons. But the Bengals' offensive line's been a completely different entity than it had been. Not as much pressure on Burrow, and the defense is playing good too. So no, it's been a really good first half.
Yeah, especially that long pass that Burrow threw all the way down to like what, like the 4. That was awesome. Just to see him making throws like that, making a play like that. If there's a game when you're going to take a chance, you're going to throw that ball, that's it right there. I mean, you're doing it at the Super Bowl. You're pulling out every trick you have. Um, I just wish that they had got a touchdown on that drive because it would have made it so much better, but they got points out of it, which is good. Um, that that failed kick by the Rams is good. Bengals got the ball on that one, which was great. So they're doing more than I think people thought they would. Going into this, all I saw was just sea of Rams, like in terms of the fans or whatever, social media and online. Everyone's got Rams, 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 and then the focus is just on Joe Burrow, like as if that's the only thing about Cincinnati that is like worth talking about. Well, it's not the case. I mean, look, they made it to the Super Bowl. They're not chumps. I mean, to get to the Super Bowl is no easy task.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've earned their place, and I think that they're playing better than people thought they would.
Oh, they're playing. I picked them, and they're playing better than I thought they would. My pick was 34-31 on the big game show with Coop prime time on Tuesday. There's gonna have to be a lot of scoring that goes on, and I don't know if that's gonna happen in the second half. But we're still set up that it could be a score like that. It's certainly going to be close, but the way that it's going, in my opinion, for the Bengals is they've had some big plays. That Joe Mixon touchdown pass was big. That Burrow pass to Chase on the sideline was huge. I think there's going to be at least another one or two big plays by the Bengals, and then obviously some by the Rams. But I like is picking the Bengals to win this game. I like where they're at going into the second half, getting the ball back. And the first prop bet of the actual game itself was the coin toss. And apparently, the last 7 Super Bowls, the team that lost the coin toss won the game. So Bengals lost that. So what's happened the last 7 years is they're already ahead there. So that was a cool, unique prop bet that they made a big deal about on television too. But no, it's been an awesome game, man. I said the big difference is that offensive line in Cincinnati. I've never seen a change in just 2 weeks. I mean, they were rancid throughout the playoffs. I mean, they were just awful, and they're playing fantastic. You know, the Rams
They got
might be
that.
doing
They
some
got
different
that.
things up front, but I mean, they're really not. They're going after them. It's just they're not getting there.
And their defense has got that three-man rush that really puts so much pressure on Kansas City and Mahomes in that AFC Championship game. And now you're starting to see it unfold here in the Super Bowl, even right there at the end of the second quarter there. I think they got to keep that up if they're going to beat the Rams. You know, they got to keep pressure on them, and they really got to have good coverage. You know, that Rams team is a good team. There's no doubt about it. And, you know, we picked the Bengals, but that doesn't mean that the Rams aren't good. The Rams are a very good team. They can play some good football. Stafford, he's a good quarterback. We've been talking about it. You know, all the hell he went through with Detroit. If they were to win this game, I will say that Matthew Stafford really deserves it. He's been through a lot. Now to come to the Rams and fight his way to a Super Bowl, winning that Super Bowl is a huge thing for him. If there's anyone who really deserves it, I think it's him, just because he's been around. But, you know, Joe Burrow, you know, you look at Joe Burrow, he's a younger guy. What's this? Is this his second season, I want to say? This is his second season, right?
It's his second season. It's his first full season.
First full season. All right, so first full season, you go to the Super Bowl. He's a Heisman Trophy winner, and he's a national champion. He wins a Super Bowl. I mean, I think you're looking at, as much as I like Mac Jones, I know you were skeptical of Mac Jones in the beginning, and as a New England fans, like, you know, that's our team, that's our future, hopefully. He looks good for us, but Joe Burrow out of the gate, man. In this generation of quarterbacks, he might be, if he wins this game and he continues to perform well through his, you know, the next few years of his career, he's really set up to be the stud of this next generation of quarterbacks.
He already is. I mean, you watch the swagger he has. It's just a next generation, you know, and it's kind of a throwback to like, you know, Joe Namath. You know, he showed up today in like a zebra print, like suede. I mean, the suit he showed up in just bled swagger. But, you know, there's a couple of unique comments here. Jay mentioned, you know, it's so weird, no Brady, Mahomes, Manning, or Big Ben in Super Bowls. I was having a conversation with somebody about that the other day.
They're all retired.
Well, yeah, they're all retired. But the unique thing is, like, the Rams have been to like five Super Bowls. I mean, they've been to a ton of Super Bowls. And it still is some familiarity with it. But it is kind of weird, you know, you figure the last 20 years, you had those three players in. Brady went to 10. Roethlisberger went to 2. Okay, can you guys check on the dog? Yeah, right there. Oh, we got owls and stuff in the backyard.
Too, right?
Sorry, guys, I'm keeping an eye on my little dog here. He was just throwing a little fit. But you figure, out of the last 20 years, the theme has been like 4 guys. So it's crazy not to see one of them in there. And for me, it's wild because I really have no personal skin in the game for the first time in a long time. You know, obviously
Right.
Big Brady fan, obviously a massive Patriots fan. So to see a Super Bowl where I really don't have a skin in the game has been cool. And obviously I'm rooting behind Cincinnati. You know, someone commented there's no blue and gold. I think we're with Cincinnati here. And yeah, it's going to be a really good half, but it's a really fun Super Bowl and a really different style of Super Bowl, just simply because of the teams that are involved.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely excited to just see how the rest of the game plays out. And like you said, I'm literally in the same boat as you. We have no skin in this game. You know, there's no Tom Brady, regardless of what team he's on. There's no Patriots, but it's still a fun Super Bowl to watch. I think I heard a lot of people leading into this being like, oh, this is a horrible Super Bowl, sucky one. Like, these teams aren't that great. Yeah, but you know what? Just because they're not 1 and 2 seeds doesn't mean that it won't be a good game. I mean, I so far what I saw, it's a good game to watch. It's a fun game to watch. Depending on what your view is, the last time the Rams were in the Super Bowl, when it was against the Patriots and they lost, very low scoring game. That was a strong defensive game, and everyone was like, "Oh, that game sucked." It sucked if you're one of those people that wants to see a lot of touchdowns. But if you can appreciate defense, that was one of the best Super Bowls there ever was. That was the best defensive Super Bowl. So it depends on how you look at it. It's a great game. I'm excited to see where it goes. I want to see Joe Burrow smoking a cigar in LA with the Lombardi Trophy. I'd love to see him with an LFD cigar in his mouth. I think that would be, awesome. And I'm not just saying that because John's here, but that's true.
Yeah,
LFD.
I that's one of the other reasons I'd love to see them win, to see what they smoke. Because I know tons of manufacturers, tons of people send cigars out, so it'll be interesting to see what actually gets smoked in the locker room. But one of the questions is, what are we smoking tonight? We're smoking the Special Football Edition 2022 for Los Angeles. I'm on my first. I'm going to light my second at the end of the half. Boom.
Boom.
But in regards to the cigar, as soon as the Rams won, the demand went through the roof. Everybody was asking for more. It was crazy as soon as they won, especially since it was being hosted in LA. It was a little different last year when it was in Tampa, just because we still had COVID restrictions. Not that it really stopped much, other than the number of fans really at the game. But it was the moment the Rams won, the very next day, the demand for the cigar went through the roof, and that was really unique to watch, having the team representing the state. Represent the team from that state representing in the Super Bowl when it's in that state and in that stadium is another unique thing, 2 years in a row. So the NFL is either rigged the game, so it's been 2 years straight, or they're guessing right. And also those teams, the Rams spent a lot of money to put this team together, and it's showing. That's why they made it to the Super Bowl, and the team's excellent. But again, Cincinnati's playing one of the better games they played all around. Not the biggest points, not the craziest amount of yards. Burrow hasn't thrown for 500 yards. Chase doesn't have 300 yards receiving, but they're playing one of the better games they've played all year, and they're playing at the right time.
Yeah, when we get back from the half, I believe the Rams will take possession of the ball for the first possession of the second half. Gotta stop that drive right there. If you're the Bengals, definitely shut that down, get the ball back, and keep that momentum up, and try to take lead in this game and play from ahead, not from behind. I feel like going into this game before even kickoff, I had said, I think that what will happen is LA will come out kind of strong. They'll score first. They'll have a lead. Bengals will begin to catch up. They'll keep it somewhat close. They won't be completely drowned, like they were with Kansas City. In the second half, they'll come out. They'll make some adjustments. They'll come out and they will take the lead. Similar to the way they did in the AFC Championship game. I don't think it'll be the exact same. Obviously, the score is much closer than it was for them at that point. But if I was to guess, that was my prediction going into this game, and so far it's on track to play out that way. So I'm just excited for that.
So my question here is let's move on just from the game. Let's talk about the festivities. I got a party going on here. We're doing a chili cook-off. We're going to announce the winner at the end of halftime here. So when the second half starts, we're going to announce the winner. We have a projector outside. We had a lot of technical difficulties. The wind blew. We had some the screen broke, the volume. It was an absolute disaster, but we've got the game on. The projector's going. We've got inside and outside. Jonathan, the useless pup, is dressed in his referee outfit, throwing flags all over the place as food drops on the floor and cleaning up all the messes. So that's been excellent here. So we're having a good time, man. We got chili. We did hot wings. We're sitting outside smoking cigars now. Big crowd. What are you guys dining on? You guys, I know you're watching at home because you're in the studio.
Yeah, we're at home. We just cooked a bunch of apps and stuff. Just kept it fun. Nachos and potato skins and Philly cheese steak, egg rolls, and we had some onion rings. Just kind of kept it fun, kept it bar-like, having some drinks. We're in the studio watching the game. Having a cigar, smoking LFD, and it's a great time. Any Super Bowl Sunday, it's obviously better when the Patriots are in the Super Bowl, at least for me and you. There's more energy, I feel. But regardless, Super Bowl Sunday is still Super Bowl Sunday. That feeling of waking up, starting to cook, get ready for the day. People come over. It's It's like Christmas. It's like a holiday, you know.
That's what I said to everybody here. I was like, for me, it's like it is definitely my second favorite holiday of the year. It goes Christmas, then it goes Super Bowl Sunday, then it goes 4th of July, then we get Thanksgiving, Easter, Valentine's Day tomorrow. That's a popular one. Obviously now I'm married with a kid, so this will be a highlight tomorrow, the first married Valentine's Day. But yeah, no, it's a special day. Like I get goosebumps when I wake up in the morning and it's Super Bowl Sunday. I'm ready to go. One question that was how was the clam dip? My father made his world famous clam dip, and it was excellent. Wade, it came out very, very good. I ate more clam dip probably than I ate chili, but there was 5 chilies and they were all very different. So we had 5 entrants. One of them was vegan. Obviously, that was made by my wife, and that was very good. It was very different. It was like a coconut milk base. It was almost like a curry minus curry. So that was good. Then we had one that was made that was a little bit sweet, which wasn't my personal favorite. It was very good, but it kind of tastes more like a spaghetti type sauce. And then there was two that were not were my second and third favorites. Obviously, my personal one was my favorite. But there was one that would have been fantastic if it was just a little bit thicker. And then my buddy Mike made one, which I think was my number 2 after mine. If I had to pick, I really did enjoy his. So, but they were all really good chilies.
I would actually really be curious to try Allie's chili. I think that would be when you said it, you likened it to curry. I'm like,
Yeah, it's like
I'm
a curry
thinking
minus the curry. It's got coriander in it, and she did an excellent job. It's really good. She always does something a little bit different, obviously, for the vegan side when we did a mac and cheese competition. So it's always excellent. It was really, really good. Let's bring the referee on here real quick. We got the referee in the house.
Oh my God, look at this. Dude, he's ready to go. Look at this.
Dude, seriously, look, he's got his flag on.
Has he thrown a flag yet?
Oh, constantly. Legal procedures. People. He's mostly upset there hasn't been more food on the ground. There has been some, but I think he's upset with the lack of. Actually, upset with the quality of the ball control. That people are really taking care of the ball in there, and he hasn't had too many issues. But that for him, he'd be very excited if there was more chili on the ground. So there's the referee.
Oh yeah, there he is. The referee.
Go. Hey, Puppy Bowl Part 2. By the way, Puppy Bowl, super underrated this year. I was on Discovery Plus. I didn't get to watch it, but Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart were both co-hosts of that, so that was probably would have been something fascinating to watch. And then the Super Bowl halftime show is very LA, West Coast rap, and Eminem is in there too. I'm not watching any of it.
Me either, because I'm here. Nicole turned off my TV.
Well, I'm still a big voter on, like, they ought to pull out all the strings and get Metallica to do the halftime show sometime and just really do it right. But I will be interested in going back and looking at a little bit of the halftime show to see what they did. And
best halftime show.
Best halftime show ever? What, U2 when the Patriots won their first Super Bowl. I mean, that was just like a transcendent moment for me in time. That was excellent.
See, I was still a little bit too young to remember that one, to be honest, TBH. The one that I remember watching live, the Prince one was awesome. That Prince was one really of the best.
Shakira and Jennifer Lopez was really, really good in Miami. And yeah,
was that last year?
Yeah,
no.
It was 2 years ago. And then Paul McCartney was excellent too. Yeah, that was. Years. Yeah, he was excellent, obviously. But I've always voted that Metallica. They got to get Metallica on the halftime show at some point in time.
Metallica would be a good halftime show. That would really be awesome. They just got to do that cover of "Turn the Page" because that's like one of my favorite songs that they play.
Well, we do have our friend Wade here says that this halftime show beats the other halftime show hands down. I agree. I mean, I think this is incredibly entertaining.
Yeah, I'm just trying to catch up on the.
The thing with this game for me, though, Matt, taking it back to the game as we get close to wrapping up here.
Yeah.
It's a pretty straightforward game. Like, there's not a lot of. I don't think there's a lot of deep analysis to go into it. It's very black and white. It's each team's kind of playing where they are. The one thing I will say that stuck out in my head is when Stafford threw that interception. I've had a lot of discussions, and with a lot of people, where it's like Stafford throws a lot of picks. He throws them in big moments sometimes, and they usually tend to sometimes have a big impact. He's got that turnover out of the way in the first half. So it'll be interesting to see if what happens in the second half. But I think if the Bengals can come out and score here to start the half, and then they can get another turnover and turn it into points, that's how they're going to win this game, in my opinion. They're really going to take it to them if they can get that to happen. So I think that's the key to victory on their end, and they can get that one turnover. Now, regardless of if they have some or not, we'll see what happens. But I think if the Rams have one more turnover, that's a big turnover, which it's brewing, in my opinion, and they can take advantage of that with a score starting out the half. That's going to be a big hole to come out of, even if it's just a few points.
Yeah, I mean, LA is definitely playing from the lead right now, and they, depending on how you really look at it, it really is home field advantage for them. But I would say that they're definitely not feeling super comfortable right now. They're definitely feeling pressure from Cincinnati. So it's in their mind. As Cincinnati continues to play, if they continue to play well, they play better and better, and they inch away at that. They get inside his head. Yeah, I mean, it'll rattle them, especially in their own stadium. Mm-hmm. I think that's a huge thing. That people, I think it's often underrated, but I think it is huge. That mental toughness of the game. You get in the other team's head. Make them panic. Keep the pressure. Keep the rush going. That's how you're gonna steal this away from the Rams.
Yep. And I think the halftime show's ended now. The halftime show's ended, so we're going to be back here. We're going to be back here at the post-game show. We'll start up a few minutes after the game ends to talk about a little bit stuff. We got the cable guy on a commercial right now. Jim Carrey is there. It's a good one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, awesome. The commercials were really weak to get started off. The first round of commercials were bad. Not shocking, NBC threw a ton of their own stuff out there first. Obviously, they threw out the Jurassic Park movie, which is going to be cool. Tons of NBC ads and Peacock and stuff like that. But
that Sopranos one was awesome, though. Yeah. I got all excited.
Yeah, it was good. I thought the Larry David was pretty good, too, right there in the second quarter. But we will be back after the game. I'll let you know who won the chili contest. I got another cigar to light up. We're in for a really exciting second half. Go Bengals. Let's go Joe Burr.
Joe Burr.
Joe Burr. And then I'll even when we go live, I'll keep on a feed. We'll find a feed where we can watch and hopefully find out what's being smoked in the locker rooms, win or lose, on the Bengals. So we'll find out what either team is smoking.
Last question I was just going to say before we go. We know the Bengals are smoking if they win. Do the Rams smoke if they win?
Absolutely, they're smoking if they win. 100% they're going to smoke. And, so that would actually be the funny thing is it's been such a highlight in the cigar business about what's been going on with the Bengals and cigars. I think we've lost sight of what did the Rams smoke. So we'll find out. Second half's on the way. Let's go Joey Burr.
Go Joey Burr.
Great first half. Second half on the way. We'll see you after the game, right?
We'll see you after the game, guys.